Change managers Sodakosi, media minds who are changing our worlds. Driven by a dream that he had about 4 years ago, he decided to touch the lives of school children in Ghana. Through innovation, he designed a game that answers about 105 questions on STIs and HIV. My guest is Joshua Kogo, the Chief Executive Officer of Innovative Associates International, to discuss how his innovative game is affecting the lives of school children in Ghana. You are welcome to Change Managers.
Thank you.
Yeah. Joshua, for the past 2 years, you have made it your personal crusade to touch the lives of school children on HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases. What is the vision?
Yeah, the vision is actually we are in collaboration with a National Association of People Living with HIV. It's Upper West chapter, that's NAPLOS on the short form. And in the second quarter, we've been conducting a kind of research on the increased rate of people living with HIV/AIDS, in Upper West region. And in 2009, we discovered in the second quarter that out of 350 pregnant women, 116 were HIV positive. And we came up with a concept, where we translated educating people using a board game, just like Monopoly.
So that realization came when you had the figures on the infection rates among pregnant women.
Correct.
So how come school children?
Yeah, we are looking at school children because, and they are really not adults, and they don't really, the things they grasp while growing up really count, So we try to disseminate information to them early enough at the primary school stage, because actually our target group is between the ages of 8, that's the primary school, down to the senior high school. Mostly the adults that were infected, like I said, pregnant women, they are people, of course, that are over 18 years of age. They are people that, they should be able to take decisions and all that. They should be able to know what to do, the kind of things to do, in order to stay kind of protected. But because of lack of awareness and sexuality education, they've not been armed enough to be able to, take all these things into consideration. So while we target these children is because...
Joshua, we hear stories of HIV infection among people all the time. How come you were driven when you heard the story of the pregnant women? What drove you?
Yeah, what drove me was because I saw it right inside me based on the research that a lot of people were not really informed per se. They did not really know what to do in order to stay, safe and all that. Considering the fact that, larger part of Upper West region, it's highly populated with people from rural areas that are not educated. So we took it upon ourselves to kind of have a way of reaching out to them, by, specifying, specifically dealing on the young ones, the target group that we are looking at.
So what specific message do you give to these young people?
The message it's being displayed on the board game. It spells out what you're supposed to do in order to stay protected. It also outlines some of the STIs, because before you get to HIV/AIDS, we have what we call the STI, sexual transmitted infections. So it addresses issues that has to do with the STIs.
No, the STIs
yes.
actually increases your risk of contracting the disease.
Exactly. So it starts right from the basis, the foundation, which is the STIs. When it's not properly managed, it amounts to HIV and
it increases your risk of contracting the disease.
Exactly, it increases your risk of contracting the disease. And most of these people, mostly girls that are just newly disvirgin, they seem to be indulged in a lot of sexual activities, and most of the times they really don't take precaution.
But are you making progress?
Certainly, we are making a lot of progress because we are not working alone. We are working with the Ghana Health Service there in Upper West region. We are working with the regional focal person, for HIV/AIDS. We are working with also people living with HIV/AIDS, like I earlier said, and we are also working with the media there, both the print and electronic media. And then the regional minister is equally doing us a very good favor by endorsing the program. In fact, he personally has a game in his house, and at times I played with him during his leisure.
Yeah, so how did you put all these alliances together?
Yes, actually, if you are running an organization, you have to have a kind of a structure. So with the structures, you're able to, know who will be accountable to one responsibility or the other. So what I had to do was to sit down logically and, figure out how I could possibly get the right stakeholders to work with me. So I did exactly that, and they saw the project, they saw the innovation was quite applaudable, and they endorsed it. So
But was it a difficult task for you to?
of course, it was, considering as an individual, with this being big dream, it was quite challenging, but any dream that, any dream is worth dying for, you just have to ensure that it happens at all costs.
Yeah, Joshua, you're a very young person who is embarking on this project. How did you take rejection? Probably you might have walked into some offices that people even didn't believe in the idea that you are trying to sell to them. How did you handle all these frustrations and rejections and all the difficulties?
I'm someone that believes in any good thing doesn't come in a gold platter. I've read motivational books, and I've seen that the top and mighty and people that really made impact during their time, the likes of Eston, Abraham Lincoln, Jeff Kennedy, Kwame Nkrumah, and many great other people, Alexander the Great. They did not really get it easy, They met with objection, discouragement. People did not even believe that they could actually get it done, So with this inspiration from these guys, and from God. Yes.
But how many lives have you reached so far? Have you been able to count the number of children that you have been able to reach with the message of?
The whole of Upper West I've been through. Out of the 9 districts, I've been to about 6 districts. I've also done some pilot projects in Accra Girls, Laboni High, SDA, secondary school. I've also spoken to St. Thomas Aquinas, and I've been as far as Pukwasi. I've been to some schools in the interiors,